We have already withdrawn 11,566 personnel. We have given directives for that. I have seen some things posted on the social media, misleading. People are quoting figures. I don't know where they got their figures. Where they said that 120,000 policemen are attached to private individuals in Nigeria. These are lies. Not true. I don't know where they got their figure from. And that's the figure that's been brandished everywhere. That 120,000 policemen. How many are we in Nigerian police that would attach 120,000 to private individuals? The recent presidential directive that we should withdraw policemen from VIP protection made us to discover that 11,566 policemen are engaged in VIP protection as at today in Nigerian police force. Of course, this is not the first time we are implementing this type of directive. Recently, I gave instruction that policemen should be withdrawn from private individuals, and those private individuals desirous of police protection should reapply, because we saw the need to profile these individuals that are applying for police protection, and we carried out that exercise. During that time, a number of policemen were withdrawn, many of them not reassigned before this presidential order came. So it's something that we have been doing. But the recent presidential order will make the implementation more effective. Now that it is presidential order, there won't be pressure on the IG. In fact, the presidential order is a cover for us to implement this directive that we have been trying to implement all this while. So you can see that the implementation is going to be more effective this time around, because I know that nobody is going to call IG again that, please, these are my people. No governor is going to call me, no minister is going to call me. Friends, my family members will not put any pressure on me because they know it's presidential order. And I'm sure they are not going to put any pressure on any of my commissioners of police because they know that this is presidential order. So the implementation is going to be very effective this time around. And we are going to deploy these men to the areas where we need them. We are returning to our frontline policing function, especially at this critical time. Every time we are talking of manpower need, manpower shortage, and now that we have surplus of 11,566 that are coming, we are redeploying to core policing functions, is going to help us a lot. We will not neglect the welfare of these men. Mr. President, who gave this instruction, knows very well. He knows more than all of us. He knows very well that the welfare of these men is important, and anyone we are sending to the rural communities, to these remote communities, their welfare will be taken care of. That I can assure you. Then there is another one on recruitment and the concern raised on what we are doing to guide against recruiting saboteurs into the police. We have a standard protocol for our recruitment, and anyone that is coming into the police will go through a screening exercise. It's rigorous. And if a saboteur manages his way into the police, the system that is operating in the police presently will fish him out. and it will be difficult for us to identify such people and show them the way out. There is the other one on NYSC camp to be used to train police recruits. Yes, it's going to be the first time we are going to experiment that because of the emergency situation that we are in right now. Mr. President is very passionate about increasing the manpower, addressing the manpower shortage in the Nigerian police force. And he wants us to recruit as many as we can at this time. So if we will assess the NYSC training camps, those ones that are suitable for our training, we will accept them. It doesn't mean that every NYSC camp will be accepted for training. A team will go around and assess the facilities on ground. And if we need to improve the facilities, Mr. President is ready to support us to improve those facilities. He's also concerned about turning out quality policemen. It's not just to bring in policemen and train them. He also wants us to have quality people in the police, and we are committed to ensuring that. Then the question on the non-arrest of suspects during the recent rescue operation in Kwara. Okay, the two questions came together. Okay, let me address this first. When individuals are abducted and taken into captivity, our first concern is the rescue, safe return of those victims to their families. That's our first concern. We will work towards getting those victims released, rescued, then before we even think of any other thing. It's not the first time we will do it. We have been doing it. Every time we announce rescue of abducted victims, every time. It's not the Kwara incident is not the first. It's something we have been doing regularly. I don't want to say much about this, but if you must know that our first concern is the rescue of those victims from their captors. Once we get them rescued, then any other thing can follow. You remember the abduction of those 20 medical students earlier in the year. Of course, it was in the public space, so I can talk about that. We mounted so much pressure on this criminal gang, on the abductors. We deployed all our assets, critical assets, with so much pressure on them. They became afraid that at a time they have to abandon the mission, and they let the students go. After we picked the students, we rescued them, then we know what we did. So we won't say more than that. Yeah, that's it. Okay, then another person wants to know, there was a statement that has been going viral that the Inspector General of Police said we didn't arrest the bandits because they voluntarily released those victims. I expect that people should know that no IG will say such a statement, will make such a statement. No IG will make such a statement. That's why I didn't bother to respond to it. I'm talking about it now because somebody asked that question. How can an IG say that we didn't arrest them because they voluntarily released those people? That's a careless statement. I didn't say so. I didn't say so. And it's not the first time that they will publish so many things about the IG that the IG didn't know about. So it's not the first time. So you should get used to all this misinformation, all this nonsense going on. So if you really want to know, I didn't say anything like that. Okay? And I have explained that our primary concern was safe rescue of those abducted victims. And that was what we achieved. I won't say more than that. Okay, then someone wants to know whether our SPU will still be functional after the presidential directive. Just wait. I've told you that we have commenced the implementation of presidential directive. But the implementation, we are going to implement this directive in a structured way, in a way that will not expose anyone to danger, in a way that will protect our economy. We won't do it in a way that will create more problems than we are trying to solve.
Having watched from the beginning of this video to the end, it means Nigeria Police Force are not ready to protect lives and properties, to make sure that those perpetrators, the kidnappers, Ishwa, Boko Haram, they are being brought to book. Because all they want, or rather they have been doing, is to make sure that they rob the ego of those kidnappers, give them what they want, then they release the victims, and at the same time come out in the open and beginning to praise themselves as if they have done a very big job. Now, I just want to take one out of so many things he said in this post. The issue of people asking what now happens to the kidnappers after releasing the victims. And you claimed by saying that what you guys are after are those victims first, not those kidnappers. Now, after having negotiated with them, that of the Kwara State and that of Kebbi State students, are you also aware now that the same kidnappers have hit another community in that same Kwara State? And are you also aware that the same kidnappers have hit another communities in that same Kebbi State? Almost like instead of terminating an issue that is giving you trouble, source of worry, you start managing it, postponing the evil days. Now, after hitting another community, I believe if those ones they hit at the moment or kidnapped are those that will ring bells in the ears of the government, they will also ask the police, the security agencies to go into it and negotiate. After negotiation, give them what they want. They release the victims to you. Are you still going to tell us that they will still stop at that? No. After spending the money, they will still strategize and go back again. Why not prefer everlasting solution to all of this instead of yielding to what they want in the name of we are winning the battle, forgetting that people are being traumatized? Our taxpayers' money are being put into a ditch that cannot bring development to the entire nation. I believe at this point, if you have been able to communicate with them, you negotiated with them, don't you think the police would have been so equipped enough to know the location, to track them? Because all this while, we keep seeing different videos of those kidnappers on live TikTok show, telling Nigerians that they have everything it takes, even to an extent, they said soldiers and those at the helm of affairs, the governor, the commissioner, the minister, the senators, are going to be their next target. All these persons, they are living in a community where they are known. What is the Nigeria Police Force doing in making sure that this same set of people are being brought to book? Gumi on his own has been saying countless times, supporting this same terrorist as if he's their spokesperson. The Nigeria Police Force have not seen the need to invite him, to detain him, to question him, to check every phones, the information so far, at his disposal, how that one will link the Nigeria government to the real kidnappers, the Boko Haram, the bandit, the ISWAP, so that we can lay this issue that has been ravaging us all this while. But instead, you guys are dancing around the bush as if maybe the insecurity in the country, all of you are benefiting from it. As if maybe you don't want it to come to an end. Because if you do, video like this, you should have edited what you are going to divulge to the public. Because it's a shame that after a series of negotiations, the same kidnapping is still persisting. Yet you have not been able to arrest just one person among them that will link you down to the main person who is in charge of all these nefarious activities. Once again, Nigerians, if you so much believe that this same set of police officers are the one that will rescue you when the need arises, you better think twice. Defend yourself in any way you can. Protect yourself. Try and be so vigilant in any move you make. Otherwise, just the way Reverend Achiu was by in Kaduna State, after the family members paid the ransom, they buy him simply because of his faith. Because these are some of the things they don't want the world to know. Are you saying that ever since this issue has been on ground, they have bought several imams just the way they are buying Christian pastors? Or what make you think they will go ahead and buy a man after the family members or before the family member even think of paying the ransom? If they kidnapped for money's sake, they will keep the man alive just the way they are doing to his wife at the moment until the ransom is paid before they can release the man. Yet they could not wait. They buy the man. And that same place have a governor. People raise awareness. They did not see the need to mandate the security agencies to swing into action and fetch them out. They paid deaf ears to it. And today, the man is no more. Anyway, whatever you think, drop your comment in the comment section once again. Share and follow the page. For the record, the police, the army, every security agencies in Nigeria, they are the main problem we are having at the moment. Because if they are really serious about the insurgency, they have to make sure they tackle it. I believe within 1 week, we will see and have a positive result.